I'm Jim Lincoln from Raleigh, North Carolina. I met Stefanos in the 9th grade, 1974. He moved from Greece, I moved from New York. We were both in the 9th grade together. Became good friends after that, all the way through high school, through college. And then I came out here to LA, and that's when I hooked up with Stefanos. He was out here starting his first fight at 40. Then he had his second one at 42, then his third one at 45. So I dearly miss him, and he will be missed. He was just a good man and a dear friend of mine. My first impression of Stefanos was tall and big, and he had an accent, and I had an accent from New York. So, and we were down there going to school with a bunch of Southern boys. So me and him just automatically bonded together, along with a few other guys. I got a few of them, but that pertains to the club, so I don't want to bring that up. But actually, I was working with Stefanos one time, and he was the lead bouncer, and I was his backup. And I remember when these two guys came in, and they were sitting at the bar, and then they walked up, they got over to a table, and then they started making out inside the bar, and the restaurant started making out. And Stefanos had to go over there, the manager had Stefanos go over there and throw him out. So Stefanos tried to get me to do it, and I said, no, I'm not going to do that. You're going to have to take care of this one. But a couple of nights after that, I actually had to throw somebody out, and it was a woman. And I grabbed her. Patrick said, get her out of here now. So I grab her, and as I'm pulling her away from the bar, she takes both hands, latches onto the bar, and now I can't get this woman out. She's about 200-something pounds, and I'm trying to get her out of this bar, and it was a nightmare. But I finally got her out. So working with Stefanos was a trip. It was just a lot of fun, but it was a trip at the same time. There's a couple other stories I got with him, but I really can't talk about that. Well, a fun story was I was at the NC State football game, and these guys, they were on the wrestling team. One of them was, and they were giving us some shit down there where we were, so I just jumped in his shit. I said, what are you? So next thing I know, here comes Stefanos running down the hill to break up this fight. And I'm like, oh, he goes, Jimmy, he's a friend of mine. I said, okay. So that boy was on the wrestling team with Stefanos, but he was a little bit lighter weight than Stefanos. But Stefanos came down to his rescue, or mine, one or the other. A Greek god. He was just, that's how I would put it. He was basically a Greek god. Everything he did was over the top. And the biggest thing about him is he wanted to be himself. He wanted to be something different than what everything else was around him. That's why he became such the athlete he did. Now, to describe Stefanos would be you'd have to do it with a big book, because there's a lot to be said about that man. But he was also a very giving man. He was. If he saw you were hurt, you were in need or anything, he was a very giving man. Stefanos was just a very special human being. No question about that. One word. Badass. Just a regular badass. That's 2 words, but we'll put it together. Make it one. Well, yeah, the thing about that was I came out here a year before when he had his first episode, and then he actually had to do open heart surgery on him. And I saw him a year after he had open heart surgery, and he was still lifting weights, still doing his thing. And I was like, wow. I was blown away. So I moved back to North Carolina, and then I guess it was just not even 2 years later, they had his second episode, and then he passed. And when I heard the news, man, I just hung up the phone. I sat there on my bed, and I was stunned. I was just stunned, because it just, and not him, not him. So yeah, it was very tough for me because, like I said, I've known Stefanos since I was 14, and he's like a brother to me. So it was hard. It was hard for a lot of people to understand and accept the fact that he was gone. I miss you. I love you, brother. God bless you. And I know you're looking down at us, trying to take care of us down here, because we're the ones that need the help now down here. But you're in a good place, and I know that in my heart. I feel that in my heart. And he will be dearly missed. There's no question about that. Well, I just want to say hello to his family. And I'm sorry for everything that's happened, but just know that he's in a much better place. I feel that so much in my heart. And Stefanos would have conversations with my brother about the Lord, and also about the Persian tribe and the Israelite tribes, the Greece. That's why you have your dark-skinned Greeks and you have your light-skinned Greeks. And him and my brother Pat would get into that conversation with it, because Stefanos is a very well-read man, and so is my brother. So they connected good. And Stefanos learned a lot, and so did my brother, through both of them. So he just would be dearly missed, and I love you, brother, from all my heart.